This is your daily market review for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trade Agent. This is your daily market review for Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Hopefully you're having a great day. Interesting data release, the PPI. Again, does it even matter at this point? Right? You go look at Home Depot, their sales are at like 6-year lows. The data obviously is looking backward. The market's looking forward, hoping for rate cuts, praying for it. But we all know that rate cuts, if they do start cutting rates, that'll be the probably best time to buy commodities. But it also will signal that the recession that is coming, that is happening, that is like growing because of higher unemployment. Again, 6 to 9 month lag effect in interest rates. We know how this all works, repeating patterns. Again, just the market's not that easy to predict. Again, you will be wrong at times. I will be wrong. Everybody is going to be wrong in a probability-based game. It's not winning. It's called trading. So try to do the best you can. Be probability-based. Define your risk. Do everything you can to manage your losses and your wins. Remember, you have to manage wins too. So what do we know? We got the CPI coming. We got more data. We know it's an options expiration. We talk about how the market tends to go one way one part of the week and then the other. I mean, based on what's going on with the VIX and the market, I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if you start having some extreme volatility coming up. And I mean, probably we'll see. Again, let's go through the levels. Let's do our due diligence. Let's not make assumptions. But based on what I would assume is coming, that's what I would be careful of. Just be careful. If you've got profits, don't let the market take it from. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. Links in the description below. Follow on Twitter. Again, some of the stuff that we're looking, I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. 6-quarter, yeah, not 6 years, 6-year, but 30-year low in home sale, 30-year low in home sales volume. I mean, 30-year low. Dell laying off more. Ford. I mean, it's just on and on and on. Again, that's where we just pay attention to it. Doesn't necessarily mean the market's going to tank or go up or down, right? Remember, it's interesting to see it's getting worse. Again, if you want to chat, use the Calendly link. If you try to use it, sometimes I forget to unblock or block times. If I change it on you, it's because I forgot to block it. Change it. I will be out of town the rest of the week. If you know me, yes, I will be gone. I don't even know if I'll be able to do a weekend recap. I'll be back late Sunday night. Follow on tradingagent.com. Again, we post all our Twitter stuff here, recommended reading, trades, education. It's all here in one. It's all here in one for you. Let's turn those profits into properties and passive income. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Again, you can get updates when we do live chats. Haven't done as many lately. We'll be doing them next week. I've just been so busy going through, divorce. It's finalized. It's in the books. Didn't really talk about it too much, but till it was final, it's in the books. It's in the records. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Maybe I'll talk about that here one of these days or at the end of the video. Stick around. Maybe get their details for that. Yeah, like, subscribe, and if you get here all your education videos as well. So what do we know? Again, there's not going to be a rate cut potentially till September. Bitcoin chopping around. It's interesting because, again, you could call this a head and shoulders bottom. If this fails, now a head and shoulders bottom failing leads to more pain. All I would warn you is if you were a bull, do not break 59,766. Whatever. I mean, don't bring a ruler, but watch that area. Oil chopping around at support. Natural gas, man, it seems to be climbing. Again, I personally would take some profits here, but if you're long-term, I've said this, and I mean long-term, meaning like you're not going to be sitting here watching. Worst case scenario, you retest. There's not much downside below $1.50 a freaking, whatever, cubic freaking square foot or whatever that's stupid. I don't know. Again, I'm not a natural gas trader. What is it? Cubic something? Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. But here's the point. There's not much downside, and that's why we like that. That to me was like the easiest up trade, potentially. Dollar holding the 200-day barely. Volume is just not really telling you much. And again, this is what sucks about sell in May and go away and just light volumes. Like, they just kind of like make it hard. TLT, here we go. Watching, I mean, again, when you zoom out, you can see why this area matters. You got a trend line, you got a box, you got to retest the highs. You got to get over basically 91s and clear it with volume. VIX popped yesterday, which is interesting. People were getting a little nervous. All right, chopping around. We talk about the trash floating last, right? The VIX bottoming. So the trash floats last, the best bottoms last. Or the best bottoms last. Yeah, the best stuff bottoms last and on the down move. Somebody knows. I mean, again, was it the CPI or is it the post-CPI reaction? I mean, I don't know. SPY back at the highs again. Congrats. I know there's some folks who, Scott, if you're listening, I'm going to give you credit, my friend. You were right. I was like, no way, it's not getting back to the highs. But hey, credit where credit's due. Again, if you ask questions, you're involved, and you say you think it's going to go different, I will credit you if I'm wrong and you were right. I have no problem with that. QQQ kind of picked up a little bit today. Got over yesterday's highs again, but needs to break out. IWM continues to get like stuck in this area. Now, this is what's a little scary. You have a high volume doji. Is this a trap? Keep an eye on it. Gold. We talked about gold. I mean, I like the downside here, but I guess the hardest thing right now is you got to really get through this 216 area to like down and close below it to really trust it. Silver. Talked about this gap filling, chopping up here. Again, keep an eye on it. GDX. I mean, I like the GDX. I mean, I've said on record with obviously stops. Consult a broker. Please don't just hold anything outright. I like shorting the miners here. I do a lot. GDXJ, again, dust at the like 7+ feels very, very easy to buy it instead of stop. GDXJ, chopping up at the highs. Again, AEM had been leading up. I liked AEM. Again, I mean, these are names I like long term, holding up pretty damn well. I mean, again, I like AG, even though in near term it just kind of looks like it's dead money. Newmont, I don't like long term, but I watch it because it's the biggest gold miner in the world, right? Chopping up at the highs, PAAS, especially if you're watching the GDX. Like it really does matter. Is that a breakout? I mean, I ask myself like that rhetorically, like, I mean, this area, I mean, obviously 21. I mean, what's the difference between 20 and 21? Again, we don't bring a ruler to trading. I know someone's like, well, it's a 5% gap. Well, yeah. I mean, there's 5% days that give up very quickly. So be aware. Taiwan, Seme. I guess peace is breaking out in China. I mean, I don't know, man. This one's tough. Let me say, I do feel like I know what will happen. I just don't know the sequence. And so that's where, again, I haven't shorted this one, but I like it. Said, watch kind of this area. Well, you broke over it. So if you have put in a short today, you stopped out. Micron, chopping, holding up. A lot of these names coming back up. I mean, except like AMD, it's dead money. 20-day. I mean, if even that's due to stupidly bounce. NVIDIA, again, I like the short here around 920, but just define your risk. SMCI, 20-day. I mean, this thing is just compressing. I mean, it's like just a lot of junk. Here's like the trash floats last. Like we talked about Intel, like due to bounce. Okay. I mean, it's pretty meek. Adobe, no love today, right? Chopping all over the place. Keep an eye on that 20-day. Apple added some more shorts today. People are like, you're crazy. I'm like, man, it felt good. And again, Joe, some of the folks on the Discord, it makes sense. Like, look for the trap, AM trap, right? And then gave it back. Kind of had a little post, like, I don't know, later day rally, but then it kind of just flatlined. Define your risk. I mean, I'm not saying sitting here going, you got to short it and hold it forever. No, just look at the dang levels, see what happens. It makes sense. And someone will say, what's a breakout? It could be. Is this a doji sandwich? I don't know. Does it need to get back up into like, I don't know, this 190 area? Again, don't sit here and just blindly hold it because I say short. Just makes sense. Watch it. Find your risk. Amazon, there's plenty of other trades. I mean, there's a lot of trades out there. Amazon, double top. I mean, it gapped down and came back. Meta, I mean, I like the short up in the 370s plus. I mean, look at this area. But does it need a retest? I mean, that's where, again, we're the first person. I mean, it's hard to be alone in a trade. Sometimes you need a little bit of evidence and time. CRM, chop, fizz, Riddle Leaf it is. Guggenheim, filling the gap, chopping around. Microsoft, Mr. Softy, meow. Chopping around. I mean, there's a lot of names that you're just like, I don't know, freaking know. I mean, just let them play out again. Someone's waiting for something. And it's weird how trash is leading up, like AMC and GameStop. But then, like, certain leaders are just. NDAQ, again, I like this short on major bounces, but I don't know if it's going to get any. MicroStrategy, we talked about this level around 12 to 1300. I mean, you're welcome. We've nailed some trades for you guys on this one. This one's interesting. Just, it's like, I mean, we've talked about this leads Bitcoin, and Bitcoin kind of follows it in the sense, but it's head and shoulders. You really need to get, I mean, 1340, you got that area matters. I'd be watching that. Close over it. Netflix and chill. Chopping around up at near the highs, fills the gaps. I mean, I like that short there. If it breaks that, let me look at it. I'll show you again exactly what I like. Apologize. I'm going out of town, so I probably won't be trading it. But man, I'd be watching that 605 area. Breaks it, good. Roblox, I mean, you can play the upside too if it breaks out. Gaps down. Pan W. This one's, I mean, this is my favorite long term on pullbacks. Pelosi knows. Nancy and Paul, no. Cybercrime. Watch the 100-day. I mean, I'm waiting for dips. I don't want to chase it with the VIX in the 12 and 13s. Here you go. 20-day Tesla. We talked about it. Due to probably bounce. Near term, right? You go from 197 down to 167, whatever. Keep an eye on it. Again, if you're bullish, good luck. DKNG. Again, I like this long term for a short, especially up in this 45 area. I mean, it looks like a complex head and shoulders. Airbnb, the Bizzle, gaps down in earnings, multi-day range, box. I mean, you could probably, oh, this one's tough. When it gaps down and the market's holding up, it might not melt right away. You need market action to confirm. Costco, is that a little double topper? Keep an eye on it. Starbucksia. I don't know why I'd like to throw my own names. We talked about this being trash, how it would gap down. It would probably be due to bounce. Notice what's happening here. 77 area needs to like break out if it's going to go higher. If not, it could just consolidate before it goes lower and lower and lower. Federal Express. I mean, look at that today. Right? Pops, gives it up. Things you don't expect to see, right? I don't know. This is where it gets a little tricky. Confusion in the market, trick the most amount of people to do the dumbest stuff, whether they go long, short, whatever. Get them to all do dumb stuff. Oh, Fratapillar. Watching this area. Nucor. Chopping. Watching the 200-day letter X. Again, we like commodity names. That's why I roll through them to see if there's any anomalies. Chopping. VALE. Again, I like this at 12. Maybe even 11. Arrow. 22 close. 22 close. I just don't like those wicks, but because it feels like someone's selling. It's got to get through that inventory before it breaks out. CCJ. I hate when Goldman Sachs upgrades the high. Someone might argue this is a cup and handle. Okay. Well, just don't take out the handle lows. That's all I would warn. CF, we like ag long term. Just let them stink around. Mosaic. NTR. NTR had a nice bounce. But then, like, again, like they just, every time everyone gets all excited, we said, once it gets over here, once it gets over like certain major moving averages, it just seems to like get stuck. So that's, again, repeating tendencies. AA Aeron had a nice up day yesterday for 40s. Not much follow through. That's okay. I mean, again, if you're bullish, it's just keep an eye on it. XLF, just dreadful. I mean, it's like banks hold all the problems, all the commercial paper, all the residential stuff, everything wrong. Business, bank loans, all that stuff. And it's like, okay. I mean, if our thesis is right, it need to be confirmed up in these levels. JP Mo, 201, huh? Man, look at that light volume. Okay, keep an eye on it. I mean, things that you just go, okay, could go. I mean, if you want to short it, define it, have a stop, be smart, please be safe. Morgan Stanley, we talked about how the broker has been acting pretty darn well. When you zoom out, I mean, it's again, it seems like it has a tractor beam up maybe up to 100, 102, 101, and then who knows. Bank of America holding up pretty damn well. Chopping around. We talked about Goldman Sachs. If you started a Marcus account, please do not be scared. At least based on what the charts say. I mean, you make a new all-time highs. Goldman Sachs ain't going anywhere. Carry, we've talked about this 50 level being really, 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 really important. Keep an eye on it, right? Philly gap. I don't know. We talked about this. It's always possible. XBI. Chop. Talked about this one being oversold, bouncing. Now it's stuck at the 100-day. Solar. All over the place. Again, we'd look for pops to short. Man, 100-day. Sedge. Even this turd. It was in the 49s. I mean, these things are so, I mean, not oversold, but they have no upside. Like, they're dead. I mean, you can watch stocks for like decades do this. Because they have no momentum earnings-wise. ENPH 100, 200. Again, not every stock is Apple. Even with dead earnings. We talked about First Solar. Look at that. 100-day or 20-day. Feels like we've talked about how this thing is extremely choppy at tops and bottoms. HYG. Chop. Again, I think you got to be crazy buying corporate debt. Oil. Seems to be stuck. UNG. Again, I hate the UNG. I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's turd. I like shorting the KLD. Again, we talked about down in this like mid 50s. You probably should be taking profit, right? XOP has been leading oil and gas down. I mean, chop it around. I mean, you got to get over the 20-day. We talked about ExxonMobil, how this was looking like it was going to break out, go to new highs, and then CVE again. I like this one long term on pullbacks. Looks like watch the 20. And you'll notice, like, Valero and, this has to hold this area, but then like MPC, like these gasoline names, look at them, they've led down. And so keep an eye on them. If they flip around, maybe oil and gas got some run in them. EQT, we like this long term on pullbacks, just chopping around. Occidental, again, we know Buffett's playing that game, that sell that puts, then sell them calls game. And then obviously, last but not least, Flex LNG. We talked about this one. It's a good long term buy. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. Watch the 200-day here. Again, I'm not buying this until it, like, again, I want to buy the market when the market's panicking. People are freaking out, not now. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. Love you guys. Really do appreciate a lot of you guys have helped me through some of these hard times. And hard times happen to people to make you stronger, right? You don't learn without making mistakes. And sometimes, people are in your life for a season. Sometimes things are what they are. I mean, I think the realest stuff that I can say about what I went through is there was nothing but love. And sometimes love can't overcome what I would call, just choices, like people's feelings, right? Like feelings are subjective. Like you can't tell someone they're wrong. Just like you feel like this trade's not going to go down. Well, then you might short. If they're feeling the trade's going to only go up, you'll only go long. Like that's the saying. Like feelings are hard. Some people get stuck in them. People have problems. People have stuff that just they choose to feel certain ways. And I'm trying to be vague, but not vague. Again, if my wife was ever listening, she knows I love her. I know she loves me. It's just like, hey, we're just not meant to be. I'm a different person. You can be different. You can change too. It's okay. All right. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate it. If you've listened this far, slap the like button, leave a comment. You know who you are. I always appreciate you guys. Do me a favor. Be careful this week. CPI and all that stuff. You got some housing data, Philly Fed. Got some other chip names. You got leading indicators Friday, and it's an options expiration. Do not take your eye off the prize. All right. Be aware of traps. I love you guys. Really. I really do. Appreciate it. Talk to you later. Peace.